everything.
say.
Intelligence,
Shit can bring me to a stop.
expertise.
What other doors could they close?
Like, how much am I
Cats
willing
in
to
already
give up?
locked.
Stand commitment and are
You
not
don't mind being
committed to the
soulless.
struggle. Acquiescing
Cause
to
you
the
climbing
struggle.
to the
They're
top.
committed.
Careful who you leave toeless.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. First of all, I want to thank everybody for your prayers, your well wishes on my little health scare that started this time last week. I ended up in the hospital the entire weekend. Uh, I'm still speaking very carefully because in the process, I bit through my tongue in several places and still hasn't healed all the way. It's a lot better than it was, which is the reason I'm here. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay before you because the more I talk, the more painful it is. But I did want to stop in this morning on Quantum Physics Friday and tell you about some things that I'm really excited about. Despite all of the things that happened physically, which was really a wake up call for me, I've been really pushing myself, doing a lot of things as I strive to reach some business and financial goals. And I wasn't taking care of myself. Well, the body just decided to shut down on me. Luckily, it wasn't anywhere close to as bad as it was on in October of 2016. That was really life-threatening and scary. This did require some hospitalization. That's some things I'm working on. And what it did do is it inspired me to get even deeper into my 60-day challenge. So I'm opening up my 60-day challenge to anybody who wants to be a part of it. We're going to administer it and moderate it through my Master Fitness 21 page. Those who don't know me, before I evolved here, my first business endeavor and my first love was health and fitness. I currently sit as the dean for the School of the Ministry of Health and Wellness at Array of Hope Theological Seminary. I wrote the curriculum, so it's not some novice idea from me. It's something that I've taken seriously. Something up until not too long ago I practiced as much as I preached, and I let myself get caught up in some pursuits. I will not consider them trivial. They are huge uh, and worthwhile pursuits, but I must continue to give my health some consideration. So I'm going to invite you guys. I'm going to be sharing links throughout the day. There are some links within the video that you can check out. That's here. You can get either one of the two latest books. You can sign up to work with me directly. But I'm going to be sharing some things throughout the day, throughout the week. We're going to have a rolling 60. What that means is I've already started my 60 days, but wherever you come in at, that's where you start yours. And we're going to see this throughout all of next year. But what we want to do is we want to build momentum going into 2020. Everybody likes to make these New Year's resolutions that we don't keep, and the reason being we don't keep them. The reason that we don't keep them is that they're not a part of our habitual thought process makeup. Everything is habitual, and I am going to at some point today talk to you about the importance of habit. What I want to do today, I'm going to keep this very simple again because it hurts to talk, but uh, we've got to get in the mindset of changing our thinking. The most difficult challenge to change is not making the same choices you made yesterday. And the choices you made yesterday were based off of everything that happened before it. We base our decision making off of our habitual thinking. So how do you change that? You have to use the creativity of your imagination to create something different than what you've experienced. Because if you consistently make the decisions based off of your past, you will consistently make the same choices, produce the same results. And there's so much more that goes off into the psychology, the biology, and all of it. Everything that we're going to talk about, including holistic health, weight management, finance, relationships, all of it starts here. Every last part of it. Matter of fact, we are, some of us are vaguely familiar, some of us a little bit more familiar with the fact that your thought processes, your psychology also has an impact on your physiology. In other words, there's this thing called psychosomatics that lets us know that how we think impacts our health. And so we always associate that with illness. We know that a certain amount of stress, mental, emotional, and psychological stress, will create physiological illnesses, will literally upregulate disease genes. And so we know that. What we should also be thinking is it works in the reverse. When you have the right psychology, when you have the right thought processes, when you are thinking positively, when you're expecting positively, when you are creating through your imagination that which you desire, literally speaking things and thinking things that are not as though they were until the mind and body begins to perceive it as real. That's when you also have the ability to create positive health changes through your mind. It's amazing in the study of epigenetics and the study the merging of epigenetics, neurology, psychology, and quantum physics. We're starting to learn that. Throughout the remainder of the year, there's going to be a heavy focus on that. We're going to spend a lot of time and on that. So I'm going to literally share on my page here the link to Master Fitness 21 page. You can come in, just like the page, and you'll be able to follow what's going on to it. There's no cost to participate in this challenge. Obviously, there are going to be some programs that are going to be offered from Diet and Nutrition Administration, where we're going to literally help you moderate and administer a nutritional change through the creation of fitness programs. I am no longer doing saying that and watch someone pull me in because it is a first level. But I am personally now no longer doing and haven't for a while the physical fitness part of the thing. My son does that. So if it's someone who wants an actual personal training session, whether it's on the spot here in Houston or virtual, he will pretty much handle that. I do program design. I do assessments. I do things of that nature. But what I want to do is I want to create a community where people are actually focusing on holistic health. That's something that I would love to do. And you get to go on this journey with me. See, I love, to show people things that I have done, but it's also good to see me in the middle of something that's challenging because life isn't the same for me when I was the fit guy. Even just 5 years ago, or definitely not 10 years ago, and definitely not when I was competing. That, life is different for me now. Things have changed, or so much is going on, but it does not offer an excuse. There is no justification, but I have to make the adjustment. So this is going to be challenging for me in a number of different ways because when I was at my fitness was my life. It was what I did. It's what people saw in me, whether it was me as an athlete or me as the fitness instructor. Now I'm a lot more in depth here. So I spend a lot of time working here and preparing here. And I've done some exceptional things. I love the clients I've worked with at TBI. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be merging the programs from Master Fitness 21 and the Visionetics Institute to create this holistic program of mental, emotional, psychological, and physical health. We want a holistic healing to take place. And I'm inviting all of you guys on. Again, if you haven't gotten my book, Critical Mass, which was number 20, or my 21st book, I Am, the links are in there. If you want to work with me in a one-on-one capacity, the link and the questionnaires in there, you actually email that to our support team. They'll get you set up for that. But we are going to, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to come back and add the link to the Master Fitness 21 page. So you can go over there, like the page, and we can get started. For those who of you going to be seeing this on YouTube and seeing it in other places, and you don't have access to Facebook, and there are people, I have a lot of people on my YouTube page that don't have Facebook accounts. And we're going to work that out to where we're going to get the information on those channels in whatever way. Instagram is going to be another place where you'll be able to find it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take it in strong. We're going, despite the holidays, we're going to set weight goals. We're going to set nutritional goals. We're going to set financial goals. We're going to set business and career goals. And we're going to approach them as if they were all connected, because they are. Now, again, we're going to start with the physical health part with Master Fitness 21, and we're going to make sure that we have the connectivity that is necessary. Once again, I would love to really go over what I am really working on right now to give you guys, but my tongue is on fire. And so that is that. But I definitely appreciate the love and support of the people who knew. I didn't make a major announcement on it, didn't make a big deal out of it, but some of you guys I let know. Obviously, I had to let my clients know. And so they knew. Man, I've received cards, I've received well wish texts, whatever it is. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. I've switched again how I'm doing my streaming. So you guys bear with me at the end of this thing. It may take me a while to shut it down, but I just wanted to stop by and encourage everybody. I don't care where you are right now. And I don't care where it's at. I don't care what situation you're in, what you're going through. It's not, if it's not what you desire for your life, it's not your lot in life. Your condition does not define you. What you've got to do is start defining yourself by what you see of yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean that you're going to have to start to see something other than what you've been through. That's why God gave us an imagination. Why? Because it is the creativity of our imagination that writes the new chapters of our lives. We are so focused and fixed on what we've been through that we use our brain as a record keeper. So what our brain does is it focuses on what we've been through and it creates these beliefs and these limitations. And then those beliefs and limitations set expectations. And remember, I've always told you, God meets you at the level of your expectation. So how do you change that? You have to transform your brain or your mind from being a record keeper of things in the past to being a creator of what's happening in the future, or a map of your future destiny. In other words, God gave us the same ability that God used when the world was created. No matter what version of creation you use, however the world came about, there's an intelligence behind it. There are far too many variables to be left to chance. Just simply far too many. If you scientifically study it, there are far too many. There are at least 100 things right now. If they were to vary one way to the left or to the right, 1 degree to 2 degrees, period, just one of them, life as we know it on this planet would cease to exist. We would no longer exist. And yet it has been held in place. That's intelligence. That's organization. That is not chaos and randomness. Now, how it happened, I'll leave that up to you. But there's an intelligence. That's an infinite intelligence that knows all of the answers. And so what do? What we have to do is have an understanding that this intelligence gave us the ability to do the same thing, to take something that doesn't exist out of nowhere. Let's just use the most common uh, reference to how it all came about: creation. Out of nothing, God said, let there be. There had to be an imagination that came up with that concept of light before there could be light. Let there be light. And there was light. Well, you have the same thing. You actually have the ability to imagine. The problem is most of us use our imaginations to come up with ideas of things that can go wrong. We're always looking for what's wrong. Research shows that 70% of people spend 50% of their lives in survival mode. 50% of their lives in survival mode. 70%, and there are so many other things. 40% of what we worry about never happens. I mean, never happens. Another 30% of what we worry about happens, but does not have nearly the impact that we thought it would have on the negative side. About 8% of what we worry about is actually significant. That's been proven. We put ourselves in situations where we are constantly on the negative. And remember, God meets us at the level of our expectations. It doesn't matter where those expectations are. God is not going to filter our expectations for us. So what we have to do is be willing to sit up and say, okay, this is not the life I want. Well, if this is not the life I want, I can't wake up every day making the same choices and decisions I made the day before. But those choices and decisions were made based off of how I think, off of my memories, off of what those memories recreate in the way of beliefs. Those imprints, they have become more and more habitual. In fact, you respond to most situations and stimuli subconsciously and automatically. 96% of your behavior is controlled by your subconscious. It's not something you even think about. You just act. You've done something habitually, which means that you've done it is so redundantly, so frequently that your body has actually become better at doing it than your mind. And if those behaviors are not the behaviors that are conducive to you doing the things that you really want to do in life, guess what? You're going to have to change it. You're going to have to move. Here's the problem. Anytime you move out of what you are mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and physically comfortable with, you get this thing that most people identify or define as it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. What you're actually saying is it doesn't feel familiar. Why? Because you're moving out of the zone of familiarity and moving into something new. And when you get ready to do something new, it's not going to feel familiar because it's new. But what you've got to understand is you're creating something that's better for you. And that comes with the imagination. You've got to literally stop using your mind as a record keeper of things of the past and start using it as a map builder of what's coming in the future. And that's it. That is so important. Um, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm just excited about what this 60-day uh, the 60-day challenge is going to be like. And like I said, I'm going to carry it as a rolling 60. So no matter when you get started, that's your start of your 60 days, and we're going to see it through. We're going to try to get you guys to build support groups on the page where you can come support each other and comment on the post and the things we share. Like I said, we're going to deal with the psychological element. We're going to deal with the emotional element. The emotional element is huge because that's what locks things in. The more emotionally impacting something is, the deeper rooted it becomes in your psyche. That's why people struggle with overcoming trauma. Trauma is highly connected to emotional response. The emotions you feel at the time of a traumatic event are so strong that they imprint. And then when you begin to revisit it, which is known as traumatic memory, you literally relive it in every minute detail, from the smell, the emotional feel, the sweat, whatever happened in that traumatic moment, you're reliving it. And it's hard to shake, it's hard to overcome. You have to literally create a new reality. You have to really create an emotion so strong that it extracts you from that moment, gives you the power you didn't have in that moment to change whatever it is you need to change in your life. So we're going to talk about all these things moving forward, whatever level you're going to get into. Some people are just going to ride along for the encouragement. Some people are going to get into the programs. Some people are going to work directly with me or with my son. Whatever the situation is, we're prepared to take it on. We're inviting you in. We're challenging you to step up to the plate and go into 2020. Not wait till you get there and make some New Year's resolution that you don't keep. I'm saying start the change now. Take and build momentum going into 2020. Don't go in the same person you are. I don't care how, if you're doing awesome, go in better than you're doing now. That should be your goal. You should never find a place where you think I made it. You should never find a place where you think I'm good, I'm comfortable. That's not where you want to be. So on that note, I'm going to get ready to step out of here. I want to thank you guys for sharing with me, stopping in. Again, thanks for all the well wishes and the prayers. And you guys have an unbelievable day. Okay, I was interrupted there, so I'm gonna try to finish what I was trying to get done. Look, we have to do a better job of protecting our kids, monitoring their phones, looking at what they're doing on social media, limiting their screen time. I watch situations where I see kids literally on their phone. I mean, constantly, and it's not helping. Parents, we're bad too. I've seen families out to eat, and nobody's engaging each other. Everybody's on their device, and that's a whole nother thing that we'll talk about in another day. But you got to understand that the internet and social media is fertile soil and breeding ground for predators. And it's easy to groom a child. It's easy to throw bait out there with little risk. And these babies are getting offered money, gifts, travel opportunities, and they're biting on it, and they're disappearing forever. What you have to understand is sex trafficking is the second most lucrative industry on a global scale behind arms dealing. It's more profitable than the drug industry, the drug business, illegal drug business. And these babies are being kidnapped, and within hours, they're out of your city. Within a matter of a half a day or so, they're out of your state. In a few days, they may even be out of the country. And the chance of finding them within a few hours after they've been abducted is little or nothing, because these people are so systematic and precise with what they're doing. And so what I'm saying is, we've got to find a way to do a better job. We've got to find a way to love on our children. Look, I'm going to get off of here, get my head right, but it's just something that was on my mind. You guys take care. All right.
From a conceptual perspective, things people talk about insanity, success, all of the elements they think, intelligence, expertise.
What other doors could they close?
Hey, how much am I willing to give up and commitment, and are not committed to the struggle, acquiescing to the struggle, they're committed.
Careful who you leave.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in right now. Thanks, first of all. Second of all, I just need to really iterate the fact that we need your help. We need your support right now. We are pushing to hit a goal of $25,000 by the end of this week. That if we hit that goal, it'll help us cover our goals for the first quarter. It'll help us consistently continue to do what we're doing with Black Men Lead, Restoring Ghetto's Forgotten Daughters, our new program providing mental health services and resources, and so much more that we've been doing consistently. Again, we need your support like we've never needed it before. Thank you in advance. You have a great day.